This the link up. This the link up. This the link up. Welcome to the link up. This the link up. This the link up. This the link up. Welcome to the link up. Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Link Up Podcast with your host, Mistuh King. We got Woods, the chosen one.
I am back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, after a 1 week hiatus, he wasn't there, and we got Rashid there as well. Man in the cameras as usual.
Yo, when are we making a full song of the intro?
That's a good question, and this question has been posed before, and I still haven't because. It was, I don't know. It was never supposed to be a real song.
It was never the intention.
Yeah.
You should just
Kana been asking us, saying I should make it into a real song, saying there's a vibe and whatnot. People feel the beat and stuff like that. But I gotta see if I still even got them files, like for the beat to extend it like a full thing to.
Yeah.
Everyone puts a verse on it. Even Kana.
Who's everyone?
Rashid.
Can't wait to hear that verse.
Everybody just drops a verse on it, man.
Okay.
In the language they feel the most comfortable, dropping the verse in.
I think that's English for most people. What language you plan to use?
English.
So who you think will speak a different language?
Kalissa.
So what language you can use? Papimento? Dutch?
No English.
So again, who is going to use
Kalissa?
All right.
Kalissa isn't Papimento like.
And I just ask you, who is going to speak something?
All right.
Never mind.
Welcome to the first episode of 2020 Link Up Podcast. Happy New Year to everybody.
Yes, all of that.
Wishing you all the best.
Please.
Happy New Year. We recorded it on the last one. The last one was recorded on the
last day of 2019.
So this is the first one officially in the 2020s.
Correct.
All right. So let's start there. How did y'all spend the new year? How did y'all bring it in?
I played in a part of this country that probably no one has ever heard of before. In Drenthe.
Really? Yeah. Like I thought you was going somewhere like Hella Food Slice or one of the really weird, strangely named places. Like
maybe it's let me double check.
Yeah, I've heard of Drenthe before. Never been, but
no, it's not Drenthe. It's somewhere else. 1 second. Converse amongst thyself.
Be like Alphanadre or one of them places.
One of those. Yeah. How did you spend it, King?
Why? I spent it quietly,
Yeah.
Like the only fireworks I saw was through people's Instagram stories.
Really? Ain't nobody around here lighting fireworks?
Yeah. But I was inside watching Big Bang.
That explains a lot.
Watching the Big Bang Theory. Like I didn't even open the curtain because like there was people popping them like right outside, but I just was like, yeah.
They were popping them like they were popping Mali.
I mean, it just didn't really have no zest for the holidays, the wifey being in Samantha and all of them things.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
I feel you.
I feel you.
Just chilled inside.
Yeah, I spent mine's quiet too.
Sipped a little.
It's pretty much just
Deventer.
Yeah.
Heard of that one too.
Yeah. I never went, but also heard of it.
Yeah.
Was in Club Dorst.
Thirsty?
That's thirsty for the...
How was it? How was that experience?
It was a vibe.
That's Club Thirst, not Thirsty. Thirst,
yeah. But, yeah, it was a vibe. The only thing is, like, it's a long ride, and we were with, like, an electric car, and it was cold. And if you don't know how physics works, batteries don't like cold.
No, they do not.
So it was a 100 kilometer ride to go there. And we had 180 kilometers in the car. So we thought we Gucci. Halfway there, the 80 plus dropped down all the way to 20, dog. So we only had a plus 20 in like a half an hour. And we still had a half an hour more to go.
Jeez.
So it was a vibe.
Did you make it?
I made it, yeah, I made it. Luckily, we
found
left early, so we could have just looked for a charging point and charge up a bit, get something to eat, and then continue the drive. But it was a vibe. People in Denver, Y'all good.
What kind of club it was?
But like when you look at it from the outside, it looks just like a small like tent, not tent, but like a club, cafe or something, something like that.
Yeah.
But when you walk in and then you just turn around the corner and you just see this thing like big. So
Big open space.
yeah. So it was
It was a
something.
vibe. It was a
Yeah.
vibe.
The only thing I want to say, like with these organizers and stuff like that, stop fucking it up for everybody else, dog. We got one party throwing 6 parties in different places in the Netherlands, dog. Why? Why you gotta be that selfish? No. Because in Rotterdam, like, people wasn't getting enough. Because I don't want to go that deep into it, but I don't know. Some
One
people just
party
said,
throwing 6 parties?
yeah, like Vincere Deuntjes throwing 4 different parties in different places.
Uh-huh.
I'm not talking about Vincere Deuntjes. I'm talking about another party, but I don't want to mention them.
You just mean one organization
One
hosting
organization
multiple
throwing
parties same
different
night.
parties the same night, dog. Why you gotta do that to people, dog?
People want to turn up.
In different cities, though?
In different cities, bro.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that's all we can say about that.
Yes, that's all we have to say about
It's, just,
it, yeah.
it's not even a rant. It's just like, just me scrolling down the calendar to see what the name was of the club. So it was a vibe. I forgot, like even the place and the name because it's far. But they like me, so apparently go play there again. So I gotta remember the fucking thing now. But just me scrolling just now, and I looked at the parties, and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And I saw this party had like 6 parties in different fucking cities. I was like, "Yo, why, dog?"
Why not?
I understand, right? But you fucking up the vibe for the other people, I don't know.
You mean the other organizers?
Yeah, if you're a smaller party and you're in R&M, and
Tough.
yeah, but
I mean, that's
people in
probably how
R&M
they
don't
see
turn
it.
up like that. So if there's one big party there, nobody can come to your small party.
Yeah, but
It's not like Amsterdam.
it depends
Amsterdam,
what type of party. I mean, genre-wise and stuff like that, music, you know, some people's...
you know, when it comes to that, like some people don't really look at that. It with New Year's Eve and stuff like that. People just want to be somewhere where it's lit.
I feel him.
So people would tend to go to the parties that has a bigger name. It makes sense. But I don't know. I just want to stand up for the little guy. I just felt like doing it.
So, speaking in terms of standing up for the little guy, you know, is there any places that you just be playing on Mondays or Sundays that you might want to plug and let the people know so that they could come out and see and support some of the little guys? It's on a little familiar to you? No?
First of all, I love the transition. Like if I was a teacher that gives people gold stars, I would give you a gold star for that transition right
Like how we
there.
segue just
No,
now.
fuck it. I would give you 2 gold stars. But yeah, so every Monday, if you feel inclined to go out after you just finished work and you were like, you know what, I did not get enough party
At work?
during the weekend,
Oh.
and while you were at work, you still wanted to shake that booty. Hey, you can come down to Curious every Monday in Club Jando. And in terms of the other party you were going to talk about, we have to talk about stuff, but stay pending when it comes to that. And you go get information when there's more information available. And
Alright.
for those of y'all still asking when my music coming out,
Yeah.
just give me time.
Yeah. That's
Just
kinda
give me
curious.
time. I've learned my lesson. I've learned my lesson.
Well, speaking of that, since you mentioned music.
Transition. Hey, see, I left it.
Yeah, you know, you should have alley-oop and thing.
Yeah. You giving me a gold star?
I know. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna let you know. I ain't gonna go stars. 2 thumbs up. That's all you can. Hang on. I ain't a sticker person. But anyway, by time I'm thinking about it for shit because it should have been enough time because I did submit it within like a week, so it should be out by the time this episode comes out. The Mistuh King LP. That's what I'm talking about. My project that for those who follow me on social media, the past couple of days I released artwork and stuff, share that and whatnot. Been promoting a little bit, letting y'all know it's coming soon. But the like I said, like way back in November or something like that on this podcast, the initial date was planned to be January 8th, also known as my birthday, which we're recording this the day before, so that'll be tomorrow. So by the time this episode is out, it should be out on Thursday. The project should be out. So make sure y'all go listen to the Mistuh King LP, because it should be out. 12 tracks, fire from top to bottom.
Top to bottom. You heard it here first. And if it's not fire, hit up King, because he tell y'all it was fire.
Yeah,
Don't send him death threats.
For all the people who may not feel as fire or whatever, make sure, let me know. For those who do think, who actually go listen to, I appreciate the support. Share, tell a friend, spread the word and all of that. But Mistuh King LP is out. So
feedback is always appreciated.
Yes, indeed. Curious to hear what y'all think.
Keep the feedback useful, though. Don't just say it's bad.
All feedback is useful.
Yeah, but just saying it's bad is not feedback. That's just saying it's bad.
Yeah, but that lets me know that something wrong with it for that person. I understand where you're coming from. But there's information to be gained from all feedback. Even if it's that, I know not everybody is a musical person. Not everybody is going to tell you, the hook is weird, maybe make it 8 bars less. Like, not everybody is going to tell you that.
But you also have taste.
People have, like, at least, like, yes. But if you're like, I find if you listen to hip hop, like, you would know to a certain extent why you don't like a song, for example. You're not technical with it, but it's like, I didn't like the hook. Like, that's at least some type of feedback, but don't just say it's bad. I can't do nothing with that.
Yeah,
that's just floating in the air.
You can't do nothing with it's bad.
That's just crap that's floating in space. I can't touch it. I can't do nothing with it.
I guess.
Yeah. If you're gonna criticize, make it
constructive criticism is appreciated, of course. If you have some kind of explanation as to why you like or don't like a song, that's always great. But in a way, like, I prefer when people tell me it's not good. Like, I appreciate people when they tell me, like, stuff is good, but to me there's more to be gained from the people that don't like it, or the people that
have a critique. Yeah.
Like, that's something I realized, like, when I was talking about Tory Lanez project and stuff like that. That's why I had to sound like a hater. Like, because, like, I like the people I critique is people that I like. If I don't like your music, if I don't care to listen to your music and stuff like that, and the stuff that I like is just like, I like them. So, like, why say that? To me, it's more useful to focus on something that's like, this, if they did this maybe a little differently or whatever. But going off on a tangent.
Tomato.
So, our first topic that we can discuss, although we can discuss New Year's plans if you want to count that as a topic. Let's get into some serious stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at Woods.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the end times is near. Start investing in a bunker, because
who got money for that?
We all gonna die, man.
It's only the rich people.
Yo, if we all collect as a unit,
then
we'll be able to pay for one person.
Because the more people you bring in, the more we need, the more food we
gonna
need.
take these containers, right? And we gonna make holes, right? And we gonna put these containers in the hole. And that's how we start in this.
Oh, this sound like an episode of SpongeBob. Where it was like, we're gonna take Bikini Bottom and push it somewhere else. Like, that's what it sounded like. You were saying.
That shit work, bro. Like,
we gonna bury the containers, we gonna dig a hole and push the containers inside the hole.
Yeah, boy.
Like, no, I think that gonna work. I think you need a little more than that.
Hey, don't knock it until you try it, bro.
So we're going to war then.
Yeah, no, I mean, we
the
ain't
man was
going
like,
to
y'all
war,
impeaching me? Fuck this. War.
Yeah. I gon' kill.
You want me out
the
of job?
Attorney General of a country that has a military capabilities 4 to 5 times larger than Afghanistan. Let's think about that for a second. They're still at war with Afghanistan. They have not won that war. That war has not been won. They're still fighting that war. And now you're going to potentially go to war with a country that has far greater military capabilities than Afghanistan. And you don't think that that's not going to be a problem?
So I think it's clear what we're talking about, but just for those who don't really follow, like just break it down exactly what we're talking about.
Pause. For those of y'all that don't know what we're talking about, I want to live in your bubble.
It's not hard to not know what we're talking about.
No, this is hard.
I understand.
This topic is hard. You could not avoid it. They made
you
memes out of it.
You don't have a TV if you be off of social media.
You're even like,
if I wasn't on social media, I wouldn't have like my
your friends at work didn't even mention it.
I don't
like,
talk to people.
See,
no, but I mean,
but people even walking by, people like, you see what Trump do? Like it was like something that if you went on Facebook just for a second, you saw the memes. If you turned on the TV, you saw it. If you were on YouTube, you saw it. If you walked outside,
no,
you didn't see it on YouTube.
Not my YouTube. My YouTube was busy showing me rap stuff.
You not even on the podcast?
It was busy showing me what new interview to listen to.
Joe Rogan talked about it.
Okay, well which episode was that?
The one that just came out. You didn't see that one yet, did you?
Nah. I saw that he put out one. I don't remember who it was with.
What's my name was? Again? Something Joe. No. Obviously, that's Joe Rogan.
Oh, it was Brian Redband, his old videographer.
Yes,
that's why I didn't watch it, because
that's the man
his
that
old
barely
videographer
talks
and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why I didn't watch it. So I ain't heard about that. Yeah. I was just watching old stuff that I didn't bother to watch. Like I was watching Anthony Anderson was on. We getting distracted. So we at war.
Yes. Oh, you're reading it in by yourself. Nice.
Yeah. I realized I was about to go off on a whole tangent.
It's getting not a gold exactly what happened.
You got cheap.
It's 2020. We trying.
That's right.
New year, new me.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, man. So yeah, Rashid, continue. Sorry for cutting you off there.
Soleimani, something. What's the guy name?
Soleimani, something like that. But I ain't gonna pronounce the man's name. I ain't Arab. Like I can't pronounce these people name them. But basically, what Trump did, he killed equivalent of the Attorney General in the United States. So he killed the Iranian Attorney General. Pause. He killed the man that handles all military interventions in Iran. On pause. He killed the man that was handling ISIS in the region. Everybody in Iran loves that guy because of that reason. Even the people in Iraq love that man because of that reason.
Handling
because
ISIS,
he was
controlling it, or
he was one of the biggest reasons why ISIS is
subdued.
Yes.
Okay.
Because he has ways. Because his hand is in everything happening in that region.
Yeah.
So they essentially killed one of, if not the most powerful military guy in that region. Without thinking of what the consequences of that would be.
But this isn't that similar to what happened in Syria and with the killing of Gaddafi and all of that with the Clintons, whereas like you took down who supposedly was a dictator and then it just created a power vacuum, so then you have these rebel groups and these things that rise up and whatnot that result in...
But they did that with Iran.
And like I just kind of drawing the parallel to be like, well, this is
that is how stupid this is. This is like, honestly,
according to the U.S. media, this is a #1 terrorist and he's a horrible person.
Yeah, he's a horrible person, no doubt. He did horrible things, no doubt. So did a bunch of U.S. military people. They did a bunch of horrible things. They killed a bunch of innocent people.
Because I'll honestly say, I didn't look too deep into the story.
But that doesn't mean that you killed...
to see what all he did. And
yeah, it doesn't matter what he did. You don't kill the Attorney General
of
another country like that and admitting it that you did it.
Did you see that? I apologize for all the yawning and stuff like that, but I'm a little tired today, people. It's recording a little later than usual. But anyway, did you see that there was supposedly a bounty? Is that true? That the Iranian people put a $80 million bounty
I wouldn't be surprised if that
on Trump's head.
I wouldn't be surprised if that is true. I did not follow up on that because I did not. I saw that. I saw the post and stuff like that. but I did not click on the links to see what the sources were and stuff
I
like
feel
that.
it, I feel
So when it comes to that, I can't speak of it. But yes, I did see that. But I can't
confirm
really,
or deny whether it's
yes.
legit.
What I can confirm is that apparently hackers in Iran hacked the U.S. Website, and they posted a picture of Donald Trump with blood coming out of his mouth.
I saw that. Yeah,
with some type of blunt weapon with the flag of Iran on it and stuff like that.
I think I also recall seeing something along the lines of they plan to target anything that's like Trump affiliated or like his properties or something like that. And I saw some people in one of the Martin discussion groups, because Trump has property on Martin, that he has that people was kind of getting a little like
but like they're not going to like if they're going to attack Trump properties, they're going to attack Trump properties in that region, because Trump has properties in that region, not in Iran specifically, but in that region. Trump has buildings and hotels and stuff like that. It's easier for them to attack those buildings than to go across the ocean and specifically go and attack St. Martin. You're safe.
What significance does that building even have?
They
that property
ain't
on
gonna
the
attack
island?
St. Martin. Relax.
Yeah.
I'd like to believe you and think that that's the case, but be optimistic and all of that. I'm not saying...
I wouldn't even be surprised if Iran would even know, like,
I understand exactly where you're coming from. The likelihood of it happening is, like, really small.
likely.
It's like, why would you go there versus all the other potential targets you could attack? It's not high on the priority list. I get it. It's a vacation home, so
now that we open up this conversation, right, it would be one of the easiest places to hit, though.
Yeah, there's no security really there.
You just come with a plane, you fly in, you don't need...
I don't like this conversation. I don't want to give nobody any ideas about bombing St. Martin, like crashing a plane into something. Like, I don't like
the
this
likelihood of
conversation.
them understanding the accent that we speaking right now is highly unlikely. So if we fine, we good.
Like, I know we're joking a lot, but this is actually like a serious
this is
topic.
I woke up. No, I didn't even wake up. I was awake. I just came back from a gig. I was awake. I looked. Because usually when I get home, the first thing when I do when I get home, I just want to look at the news. Not even look at the news, just go on YouTube just to see what's on the feed and to see if something like interests me. And then I saw the US Trump ordered attack on Iran's military, blah 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 blah. I was like, oh no.
It was you that posted the thing where they were showing all of Trump's tweets when Obama was in office regarding how you're going to try last minute thing if you're losing the elections or you want to get a bump in the polls or whatever you can show.
The thing with Trump is Trump projects everything. So when he says that, it's because he will do something like that. So he's coming at it from his own glass. Like he's looking in the mirror and he's just talking about what he would do. So it's very ironic now that this is happening. So that says that he's not confident that he's going to win. First of all. But second of all, the man's stupid. I just want to...
He was the second president he got impeached. I mean, like, it don't look good if you get impeached for re-election and stuff like that. I know he's not like out or nothing like that. There's still the other process and
that would never pass because the Republicans own. Let's not go. I don't want to go too much into that because that is not the important conversation right now. But
you see, the thing is that got me is like, I swear this would have been with Rocket Man. Like, if we got to this point, I was like, okay, the U.S. starting a war with somebody, is like Iran. I know I wasn't following and keeping up.
Rocket Man.
I know I wasn't following.
Got nukes.
I know that I wasn't following the news to see, like, to me, this just seemed like it came out of nowhere. In the sense that, like, why this dude? What did he? What
triggered it? Basically, so like usually, what happens when you're president? The military comes with options. So they're like, yo, this man is here. These are the options that we can take. And Trump in the beginning didn't take any options. But then what happened was there was a riot at the U.S. embassy in Iran or Iraq. I can't remember where. And the rumor around it was that this man had some type of hand in it. That's the rumor. Not confirmed, nor denied. His recourse was, because the riots and what was happening at the embassy, kill. So he, out of all the options, even the military said he chose the most extreme options out of the list that he had. And they were even surprised that he took the most extreme. Because usually they want to give the president all of the options, so everything gets explored, and then they choose to see what they do. But you have, look, honestly, the military is also stupid, because you should know at this point that you all have a president that doesn't understand severity of actions.
Yeah, but they're just following protocol.
I understand, but with him, you don't follow protocol no more. You have a baby as president.
I mean, even
The man
so, you can't
tweets.
really break protocol.
Yo, the man was more. This man in 4 years played more golf than Obama did in Obama's 8 years as president. He's not even 4 years, dog. In 3 years, he played more golf than Obama did in Obama's entire presidency.
Has he spoken about this in public yet?
Who?
About his golf?
No. About the whole situation.
He tweeted about it.
He just tweeted.
When the attack happened, this man
The man
just
didn't
posted.
double down like another thread. Basically, was like, if
Yeah.
you retaliate,
If you retaliate
gonna
now,
get
we're going to
obliterated.
attack all of your cultural buildings
Museums and stuff.
museums and stuff like that. That's a war threat. That is a terroristic attack, because you're not even attacking for military strategic things. You're just, at that point, you're just terrorizing, dog. Because if you're at war with another country, you're going to attack their military bases, because you're trying to.
Was there any explanation given as to why he threatened that specifically?
Because the Iranians, obviously, after you kill their military, their general, they are going to retaliate and say your action is going to have consequences. That was basically what they said.
But I mean, like, was there a reason why Trump said specifically that the cultural sites and museums and stuff like that?
No, he's just
Is there
just
a reason
going,
for that specifically, to attack or to say those type of things?
because he wants to. Oh, you're going to attack me? Well, I'm going to attack you, and I'm going to also, because that's Trump. He escalates. He doesn't know what de-escalates means.
I was just thinking, because I think it's interesting that I remember early on with ISIS or ISIL or whatever the name was at the time, like, there was a lot of stuff about them going around to different cultural sites and all places where they have like artifacts and historical sites and whatnot.
And they were destroying it,
them.
yes.
So that's why I'm just
So
thinking
that's a
it's
very
weird,
terroristic move to do.
like, for Trump to say something like
Yes.
that is like, okay, so you're going to do the work that ISIS was doing in these.
But that's exact. But that's the thing. This whole thing. Look, this is very dangerous, because during the Afghanistan war, which is still going on, but it's not as prevalent as it was at the time.
Like, my brain just went super conspiracy theory, because I was thinking back to the whole thing. There have been rumors of U.S. people, Saudi Arabia and different things, allies of the U.S. funding some of these people that was doing all the destroying and what. Well, that's
Saudi
why
Arabia
it's
is
like-
the biggest terrorist in that region.
But if you have, it just makes me think, like, so if Trump's saying the same thing that they, is there an agenda specifically that was
Do you
maybe
think Trump has a
being
plan?
carried out on, like, under the table, that
Do you think Trump has a plan?
it doesn't necessarily gotta be Trump? Same way,
Well, I understand.
the same way how you say the advisors come to him with this list of things is like, It could have been somebody. Yes, it's his personal Twitter, but I mean that for him to use that specific type of thread, it's just weird to me. My brain goes weird places, and I try to see connections that might not be there.
Because I follow, like, not that I follow this man, that, but I would say I've studied the psychology of the feeble mind of Trump. It is not that complicated. This man is an escalator. The same thing when he was going with it with Rocket Man, and Rocket said, "I have a bigger red button" and stuff like that.
I get that.
That's what he does,
but
you know.
It's just a weirdly specific attack, in my opinion, unless it was prompted by like, cool, we going to attack your museum. So unless they just said we have sites that bases and stuff that we could retaliate because they have bases there. And that's my thing. That's why to me it seems unprompted for Trump to use that type of thing specifically. Is like, why that? Or why would you threaten? Like, is the goal basically just to erase whatever Iranian history it might be of what this country represents and like all of these type of things? Why would you go after historical sites or museums and shit like that? Yeah. It's a weird thing.
I understand
unless your goal is to erase this population.
I understand what you're saying, right? But you're looking at it from a perspective with a person that has morality, and that's where you're wrong. Trump doesn't have any morals, my bro. Doesn't have empathy for other people. So when it comes to him, what I'm saying is Trump doesn't care what he attacks.
But why
if
those
you
things
say
specifically?
something like that?
Yes, exactly. He says it because if they attack us, we're going to flatten.
In your mind, this is basically just Trump going to what he knows as this is the worst thing he could possibly do to these people.
Yeah.
But
not just attacking your bases, but also attacking your culture.
I don't know.
Why? You really think that is weird? That Trump would say that? Trump?
Yes. Like, I personally find it's a weird thing.
Even if it's
We're
Trump
going
saying
to attack your city? Is that a weird thing to say?
If you say you're going to attack the city is one thing. If you
he did say that,
but to specifically say the historical sites or the historical museums and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you say I'm trying to cripple your economy, so I'm going to attack the tourist sites or something like that. If you say that, okay, cool. That to me makes more sense from a Trump than something like that.
No, because
Trump doesn't seem to be
also
like
religious wise and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of like very like historical religious like buildings and stuff like that the people in Iran really like adore and stuff like that. So you have to look at it from that perspective as well. And him attacking those buildings,
attack the stuff that means the most to them.
Yes, and it's also their culture. Like you have to look at it like what would hurt them the most.
I understand the significance of the attack. That's why for me it's something that stands out as like I don't know. Like I say, I'm probably reading too much into it. But what would you say is the most important takeaway from all of this in like the war? Is there like
pay attention to your fucking politicians. Don't stay home and don't vote. Because then you have bullshit like this. That's what happens when
you see
when you vote for the lesser of two evils. Who was the lesser of two evils now?
Well, I mean, Hillary
is still smarter, man. She would not have done it like that.
Well, at the time, certain people thought
she would not have killed a man. Like, even if she killed a man, they would have done it in a way
you know who you're talking about?
Plausible deniability.
You know who you're talking about, right?
I understand what you're saying, right? But there's
I don't think I know that.
No, I understand what you're saying. I know about the Clintons. And I know what they did in Iran specifically. But the difference is that she's still smart. They smart. It's hard.
The only thing I was saying was Hillary won anyway. Like Hillary, she did like vote wise.
Yes, but she didn't win. We gotta stop with that bullshit.
Is nonsense. Yes, she lost.
Yes,
but I mean, she won the popular vote.
Yeah, I don't care.
She
still
should
lost.
have won the election.
Yeah.
She won the popular vote.
But she still lost.
She's not president, so.
And she didn't. She had less turnout than Obama. So
Do you
she
see
was.
Iran retaliating?
Yes, for sure. They have to, because the people want them to. If they don't, they're going to have problems with their constituents. That is the thing. This man was loved. It's not just a regular military person. It was a person that was loved in their country, and not in their country, also in their region. Where now Iraq, the government of Iraq, voted the U.S. out of the city.
Do you
So
see
the U.S.
them-
are not even allowed to be in Iraq right now, technically.
Do you feel that any actual U.S.
And also
soil?
China now went to Iran as well.
Do you feel
So
any
this
U.S.
is-
soil is actually at risk?
No. U.S. bases are at risk. No.
And embassies and stuff like that?
A lot of U.S. oil
Those things
companies.
that might be, like
a
you
lot
say,
of
in the
U.S.
region.
oil companies are in that region.
Like those type
Like
of things, I could
ExxonMobil
see,
and
but
stuff like that.
I just would wonder if they would like, how much effort would it be? How much would they have to go through to actually get something to the U.S. and I don't know. There's ways.
There's ways, but it would be the effort would be look. The reason why the war in Afghanistan and stuff like that for the U.S. is so hard is because they have to send all their troops, all their stuff, all the way to another continent and fight a war that's far away from their home. So that's why that war for them is hard, because you have to travel. There's logistics. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But if your country is right there, yes, they can attack the U.S. But the likelihood of that happening is far lesser than them attacking like ExxonMobil that has oil refineries in that region and stuff like that, or them attacking a affiliated country with the U.S. like Israel, for example, which I wouldn't be surprised if something like that would happen, because Israel was also egging Iran on for the longest time because they wanted this. But what they keep forgetting is, be careful what you wish for.
Our political
People-
correspondent.
People keep forgetting, like, they just forget how big Iran actually is. If Afghanistan was a problem, then they have no idea what they just gotten themselves into.
But
And
to me,
now
like
they're-
the biggest issue is because like it depends what you're actually trying to accomplish. Like if the goal was wipe out the enemy at all costs, basically meaning you don't care about civilian casualties, the war would have been over a long time. Like, because that's the thing. If I get what you're saying is
but
like it's distance and all of
they
that.
do that like that,
If
but
their goal was just, you know what, we can just drop a bomb and kill everything in the place.
and then China and then Russia are going to come in because they are allied with them. So there's every action has a opposite and equal reaction,
War.
and China is
Like,
already
why
there right
can't we
now.
all just be friends?
Exactly.
Well, why is
That
this
is
necessary?
that
The
is
world don't work like that.
that no, the world does work like that. If the majority of the people in the world actually had a say, but that's not the thing. The majority of the people do not have a say. It's the people in power have a say, and it usually comes from a very nasty place. The decisions they make usually benefits not their constituents but just themselves, and that's where the problem comes from. Because if we had a say in this, if the people from Iran had a say in this, if the people from Afghanistan had a say in this, if the people from Israel had a say in this, this shit would not be happening right now. If the people in the US had a say in this shit would not be happening right now. But it's happening because of the
people
powers
that
that be.
have a say are the weapons manufacturers
Yes.
who supply millions and crazy amounts of money for lobbying and stuff like that to get their way.
Exactly. So that is why when I hear my friends say they don't go and vote, if you're living in a country where voting really doesn't matter because the country is quite left and like they're not interventing in wars and stuff like that. Like if you live in the Netherlands, I understand. If you live in Finland and you don't vote, I understand. But if you live in the US and you don't vote, especially when y'all have so much like military might and so much influences in other countries, stuff like that. And if you really don't want to be in war all the time and you don't vote, then it's kind of on you as well, whatever happens from your country. Because you had a hand in it, even though you didn't vote. Because I'm tired of this. I want a decade where there's no wars. I want to live in a decade where, like, nothing, where I don't have to hear about people dying constantly.
If only
Because
that
we
was
smart
possible.
enough.
If only. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Because you
we not.
always have those people.
No, I
in
mean,
power
we
that
smart
are-
enough in the sense of we have, like, the majority of people have empathy for one another when it comes to that. But it's not the
I'll
majority of
disagree
people
with
making
you.
a decision.
The reason being is you can say that living in Western civilization,
Even the
where
people that
things
live
are a
in
lot
Eastern
more-
civilization, the protest is happening in Hong Kong. You think they want to be ruled by a authoritarian regime?
I understand that.
Like,
but there's still a
if
lot
the
that-
majority of people, like, the thing is, it's not that they don't want to, it's that either they're afraid to because of the consequences of their actions. Like the people that live in Dubai, like, they know if they go against the powers that may be, they will get stoned to death or cut up. That's why they do those type of stuff. That's why they have the encampments in China. It's because they want to set an example for the people that try to deviate from the goal that the powers that may be have in mind. We are lucky that we live in the western side of the world where we at least have some type of human rights. But in those other countries, like, they want to, like, you think these people want to be in war all the time, being afraid of, like, if a bullet go hit them in the head or something like that. No, they don't want to live like. That's why the majority of them move out and come to the West. Not the majority, the ones that actually get the opportunity to do that comes here. But then you have small population, like a small group of the population that comes here and does nasty stuff, and then they get labeled with the whole group that everybody just wants to be in perpetual war and stuff like that. The majority of people do not want that. Like, people just want peace. Most people just want peace in their lives. They don't want to, like, we all know friends that are in gangs. Just to bring it local for a bit. We all know that guy that's in a gang that he can go out. Like, if we were all sitting in a group and we wanted to go to a certain part of the island, and then he's like, yo, no, I can't go. I got beef with these type of man. It's like nobody wants. Like, if you talk with them, they don't want to live like that. But the circumstances that they are in when it started, now it's hard for them to get out.
I'm feeling.
You understand? And I don't
That
know.
was
Man.
basically the point the one thing that I was going to say. Like, in Western civilization, it's easy for us to
Yes.
kind of, because we see, for the majority of this civilized life and stuff like that, it's not like it's war constantly and, like, bombs dropping and gunfire and stuff like that. In certain areas, it may have select types of a
United
little
States.
more violence and whatnot, but I mean, like,
It's kind of a luxury to even be able to think like that.
I just think there's a lot of
That's a sad
places where
thing.
conflict is a regular thing where,
Sad thing.
yeah, like, let's find something that's a little more fun to talk about.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys, but we had to talk about it. It's relevant. It's we started off the year a little bit spicy.
This is
This
how we
happened
start
on
the
the
year,
2nd or the 3rd
goddamn.
of 2020. So,
Jesus.
like, what a way to start. I mean, on the upside, like, Bernie Sanders is, like, climbing up in the polls. He's like number one for the first two caucuses right now. The first two
Debates?
not
No,
debates.
they have those yet.
The debate, like, in 30 days, the actual voting starts in the county, in certain counties. So that's fun. He's first place right now. He's raising the most money from individual donors and not fucking corporate people, not the industrial complex and stuff like that. So the US, please don't disappoint me.
You think Bernie have a shot?
Bernie has
To
the
actually
best
win?
shot. Yes, the best shot. He has the most, like, in terms of, people don't understand, like, the thing is,
Listen, the only reason I asked this is because it was the same shit with Hillary and with him. He
Yes,
was like the
but
most liked
the
person, but then
difference-
it was Hillary, and they just felt like Hillary would have win or whatever.
It was an uphill battle because Bernie was not who Bernie is now. You
Yeah, I understand. The first one gave him a
Yes.
lot more a platform, so it's easier
'Cause
because
it
people
was
know who he is already
The
and
name
all of that.
recognition that Hillary Clinton had with Bernie was just like, who was this guy?
Mhm.
By the time he reached the popularity that he needed to reach, it was too late. The
No, and when do you think about the age and all of those type of things, when people say Bernie like old as fuck?
age don't matter. What are your policies? That's important. What are you putting in place? His policies are going to help the younger generation more than the younger people that's running in the race. Don't look at age. Look at what are the policies. Are they going to benefit you? And that's how you decide who you voted for. Younger people don't mean that his policies are going to help you just because he's young. In the ideal world, that would be the case. But in the US, it's not.
I feel bad for our listeners that don't enjoy politics.
Yeah. I feel
Like,
bad
I have
for
no problem
I
with
feel
it.
bad for a lot of people.
It's just that
in
this is
2020.
we 45 minutes in and we pretty much just talk about politics. Like,
I mean, yeah.
Political
But
heavy.
I mean,
This
it
how we
needed to
start
happen.
nowadays.
I needed like
you need
this,
to vent and
yeah.
get it
This is
off
the
your
Link Up
chest.
podcast, and this is usually the time where I get to vent, and this is important. This is
So
important, guys.
I got a question for you, right? You being from Aruba, being a Caribbean guy, right? How have you become so invested in American politics? And this is not only you. This is
States, right?
Yes, I have family states, but it's not even that. It's America influences everything. Just who is in power in the U.S., who is sitting on top there, influences a lot of different regions
around the world.
around the world. If Obama was not sitting, look, here's the thing, right? Because we had a problem with Iran already. Obama came, he was like, yo, you know what? Stop making atomic bombs. Let's make this deal, blah, 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 blah. They had a deal. Trump came, fucked the deal, and look what we're in right now.
Like,
So,
I really don't know how I feel about those type of things. Like,
I understand, but it is true though.
The agreements and whatnot, the nuclear disarmament treaties and these type of things that it's like, so you get nukes and I don't?
Yes. Like, I honestly, I would prefer no one to have nukes.
Period.
Understand? But we know that's not the reality that we live in. But at the same time, I don't want a hostile, because at the end of the day, Iran is still a hostile country.
Hostile to who?
Hostile?
US?
No. Hostile in the sense of they would, if they had something, they would use it. So why are you making like nuclear bombs now? You get me?
Why the US have them?
Because they made them in the beginning.
Because if I have nuclear weapons, now I could actually join the conversation and be treated like a equal at this table when we discuss it.
I mean,
because it's
you would
not
say
just
that, but
I'm a
then
list and I'm a
personal
bend
Yeah,
over.
I get you.
It
But
balances the playing field. We could have a fair negotiation. Now you got shit, I got shit. Now let's talk.
I get you. But with
What power do I
In
ever
that
have in
sense,
negotiation with
I
a country
wouldn't-
that has all the nukes, that has all the money, that has the resources? It's the same type of shit that's like St. Martin and Holland when we asking for aid, post Irma and all of that. You can never have a fair negotiation with Holland because
course.
they're a much bigger
But-
country with more resources and all of this shit. Is the same type of thing. I could understand why the smaller country wants a nuke
yeah, but Iran isn't a small country.
compared to the US in terms of military might and resources and all these things, power on the world
but
scale.
it wasn't just a. You have to keep in mind, this wasn't just a U.S. thing. This was the U.S., the European Union, Russia. All of these places were like, yo, these people them cannot get nukes. Because the guy that got killed is still a very dangerous person. We should not, don't take that away from this man was still a dangerous person. But killing him was the worst thing you could have probably done in terms of de-escalating the situation. You understand? But I don't know, man.
Because that's the thing. Like I say, I understand why countries with less power and less clout on the world scale might want some nukes. I understand it might make other countries uneasy, and to me, rightfully so. But it's like, why am I comfortable with y'all having nukes? Like, unless I align with your vision and stuff, I'm basically at risk of getting, just as likely at risk of getting nuked if I happen to oppose your ideologies or worldviews or whatever that might be.
Yeah, but the first country that dropped nukes is gonna be fucked.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've been...
Because if one country
You saw
drops
what
a
happened
nuke,
in Japan, the nuclear meltdown, certain places,
no, but it's not
like
just
Chernobyl.
that. If
From
one country drops a nuke, everybody gonna drop nukes.
mutually assured destruction.
Yeah.
At this point, war makes no, like, that type of war makes absolutely no sense, because we reach technologies at the point where we have the capabilities to destroy each other with the press of a button, pretty much.
Yeah.
The bombs exist to do it, but
So you just need one crazy person.
unnegotiated.
But that's why I understand. But that's why the thing, I get like why someone would want to make a nuclear bomb, stuff like that. But at this point, like if you're trying to make one, I check in your intentions, especially when you're very hostile. When you're a hostile country in general, dog.
Okay, and no country more hostile than the US. If you
I
ask
know.
me, and they still got hundreds and hundreds of
I
nuke
know.
on stockpile.
If they were making
they
nukes
supposedly
now-
agreed to disarm and reduce the stockpile of nukes, and they still sitting on a whole bunch of nukes because they've been slacking and they can't. They didn't get
some of them,
around
some
to
of them are
getting
not
rid of the
even,
nukes.
not even safe, and they're like some of them are hazardous and stuff like that. I know, but that's the US in general. The US ain't.
And that's my shit. It was like, okay, let's say somebody else. We basically at the point where it's like the world is okay with the fact that, okay, the US win, they're the top dog, and that's just what it is. They make the rules. They get to police everybody and decide who can do what.
The US,
Like,
it's between the US and China. Realistically, right now, in terms of who run in, right now China is actually becoming way important when you look at like
obviously, we've talked about the takeover that's going to happen eventually with what's going on in China and all of their investments, the Silk Road, the new Silk Road, and all of these type of things, the imprint they're looking to put on countries all over the world and whatnot. We know China is becoming a major player.
already is
Yeah. They are.
second to US, so it's like
either way. So it's like, y'all got nukes. For anybody else that wants to join the race, it's just like, okay, well, it's too late. China, the US, Russia, these countries is pretty much the ones who win, and they just rule the world, and that's it. We just never get to say we'll take the scraps. For, like, again, like I said, negotiating power. To me, that's the only reason, that's the main reason you want to nuke. Because we agree. If anybody uses
like,
them,
the
it's
thing is, like,
completely
you having
pointless.
nukes, even if you have nukes, that don't mean I'm going to negotiate with you. It's the same thing with
It means
Russia.
you gotta listen to me a little differently.
With Russia and
It means you have
US.
to consider my threats if I decide to threaten you or
Yeah,
whatever
that's true.
kind of
If they
request
had
I
nukes-
make.
If they had nukes, they would not have.
You're not gonna make the same type of jokes
Yeah,
and
that's true,
stuff
that's
like
true,
that
that's
if
true,
I got
that's true.
nukes sitting
That's
and
true.
I could just press a button.
Well, they're making nukes now, so
Alright, so something that's a little less
Political.
yeah. So let's talk some Netflix shit. You were saying you watched the Kevin Hart thing?
nope.
Yeah, I saw a few episodes. I don't know if I'm done,
Is it
but I
good?
have seen a good bit. So
Like, well, from what you've seen so far, like, what's your take on it? Because I saw it and I just haven't started watching it because it's like a documentary isn't really. I wanted to stand up, basically. Like, a documentary ain't what I'm looking for from Kevin Hart necessarily, but
it's not a replacement for a stand-up special. If that's what you're looking for from Kevin Hart, it's literally a behind the scenes of the work he put in to get where he is and how he dealt with certain situations. When you look at his whole the infidelity scandal he had when his wife was pregnant,
This is like that.
some behind the scenes stuff with him and his crew and stuff like that, you know.
because Joe Budden was saying how it was good. It was like pretty in depth, and some of the stuff that they showed, like
They gave you a more personal touch of who Kevin Hart is. They show his reactions to, like, after he first produced the movie, which Night School it was, right? And he was talking about how, like, he don't never get good reviews when he do a movie, but like the critics would never give it a good review, but he always get like critical acclaim from the people, so to speak, and stuff like that. So it's a cool behind the scenes type of thing from Kevin Hart to see what Kevin Hart does, who he is, that type of stuff. How far he has come, like how big he really is, and that type of thing. It's pretty interesting. If you like Kevin Hart, if you like what he does, if you're interested in seeing how he works behind the scenes or how certain things has been dealt with in the past, you could look at a documentary.
Yeah.
True.
I think I'm going to wait until I watch that one. I'm not in like a. When I want to watch like documentaries, I want to watch. I'm in the mood for sick stuff. I don't know why.
Like the cat killing shit.
Yeah.
So you enjoyed it?
Yep. I don't know. Joker just left this weird impression on me right now. I just wanted to see dark movies, man.
No.
So after the Joker, you just want to watch people.
You just want to see some dark shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or dark comedy, or like
Dark
Dave Chappelle or
comedy.
stuff like that. I don't want to watch like happy stuff right now. I'm done with the Marvel stuff for now.
I recently would rewatch. In the process, I almost finished rewatching Big Bang Theory. Like I said, that's what I was doing for New Year's. I almost finished watching it again, all 12 seasons and stuff. So that's what I've been doing. Like, I feel like ain't had nothing good that was on Netflix, etc. for a while necessarily. Although I just like when y'all came in before we started recording, I was watching a new one, Messiah. That seems interesting. I'm curious to see where they take it, talking about like Syria and these type of things. It's set in the Middle East. Apparently this dude who seems to be like a Jesus figure coming, what it would be like if Jesus came back in modern times. And apparently he's leading a caravan of
They would
refugees.
shoot him.
Apparently he's leading a caravan of refugees into some place. I forgot where. I only watched like the first episode, and you know, some of it had subtitles and stuff, and I was like cleaning up a little bit, and so I might have missed a little few details.
If a man would come like back and proclaim that he's Jesus in that region, you would probably get shot.
He's our Family Guy take on it. Like every time, Family Guy Jesus was working in a record store.
Yeah.
Man was hiding in plain sight.
Nobody knew.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Until he stepped on water.
Whoops.
Family Guy.
I don't watch Family Guy anymore. No. I feel like they fell off.
I watch them when they come on. They have their good moments now and again. But they be playing a lot of reruns, so it's a lot of the old episodes.
Yeah.
Well, when you watch it on TV.
Rick and Morty's more my show, man.
Yeah. You enjoyed the last season?
Yeah.
I recently watched it. On the
You son of a bitch.
I waited until they added it on Netflix. I didn't go looking for it.
It's on Netflix?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I want to say, like, I waited till then to watch it.
Okay.
Like, with South Park and stuff like that. I see they add season 20 as well recently.
Yo, so you know what I like about South Park on Netflix? They have the best episodes. There's an option for the best episodes. Just watch it. Just watch it.
Like, I'm good with all of them. Like,
I go with all of them, but because I've already watched all of them. Like sometimes you just want to watch the really good episodes.
Like I probably haven't
South
seen
Park is
all
something else.
because
Yeah,
the first couple, like the first maybe 3-4 seasons was super trash. Like the early seasons of South Park was super terrible, and I don't.
You didn't like
the first three, like the animation was trash. Was extra
but
trash
you
even for
didn't-
South Park standards. Like
you didn't like the anal probe episode.
I don't remember.
That's the first episode.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the anal probe in Cartman's ass.
That's with the big old satellite?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Right
Got an
now.
anal probe in my ass.
Maybe South Park might be the thing I rewatch.
South Park is timeless, man.
Yeah.
But the early episodes was trash, so I do like. I
That's
remember
true.
I got into South Park late. Like I started
Same.
watching South Park when it came up. Holland, like
Same.
in my opinion, it was just
wow.
kids. It was just badly drawn people cussing. Like that was my interpretation of South Park growing up, and my mother that was
Okay,
kind
that's
of
you don't
also
have
given to me
the
from my
nostalgia
mother
that
as
I
well.
have, so that's probably why.
So yeah, and it's only I got to appreciate. It was like many things. Like Nas and Jay-Z, I started to appreciate it when I was older. When I was young, to me, like I didn't see the appeal.
Yeah, I was watching South Park like when it came out, which is really bad for my development as a
Like I feel
Little
like the humor got refined as well in a sense. Like
Oh
early
yeah, it's
on,
way better because
really,
it was way more slapsticky, way more.
and that's what I mean.
had,
It was just like
they still had hidden
badly
messages.
drawn people cursing. It like the parody in like the wordplay and stuff, like with how they gotten really right in the story and weaving. Like I feel like it's.
I mean, they have
different
golden
than
episodes like when they talk about like religion and stuff like that. When it is the episode with Santa Claus versus Jesus and stuff like that. Like there's like really good episodes,
Scientology episodes.
like even the beginning ones, but like because some of them, like some episodes were just, for example, the episode where Cartman goes to sell something to a guy to the kid's house. And then the kid takes his $20 and then
end up being his parents.
Yeah, and then ended up him. He made Cartman does this whole elaborate thing to make this guy eat his own parents. That's like that's one of the first seasons.
That was crazy.
Nah,
I think so. That's like one of the first seasons. That doesn't pass season 10.
that's later.
And I don't know if you
that's
could
before
confirm
season
this.
10.
Listen, I'm talking like 3. I'm saying like the first 3, 4.
Yo, we had season like 20.
His name was like
20
Scott Malkinson or something like
Yeah.
that.
Scott Malkinson wasn't the dude he was doing the party for. We throwing a party. Scott Malkinson got diabetes.
The one with diabetes, right. No. My mistake.
That was the one where they were trying to get Lord to come to play at the party, right?
Yes.
Lord.
But that episode with the chili, right? When he tried to make the boy eat his parents, right?
Yeah, that shit was so fucked up. Like Cartman is terrible.
Yo, but the thing is, like, the episode just took a 180 because this whole time this man just dogging Cartman, dogging him, making him eat pubes and stuff like that.
It was in that one where he was training the horse to bite off the dude dick.
Yes.
It was that same episode. Okay,
Yes.
then. I'm trying to remember.
Yo, but then it took the 180 and it's like, yeah, I know that you wouldn't. I know that my friends would call you and tell you about my plan, and I know that you wouldn't want to go, so you would send your parents. And I told the man that some suspicious wolves or people will try to take the horse. So he shot your parents, so your parents are dead. My parents are dead.
Yeah.
Like, yo, that episode was just fucked up, man.
But that's like the Rick and Morty episode, the heist.
Yo, the heist is funny, man. You
Like
son of a
the
bitch. I'm in.
Rick and Morty is good.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah.
I think we should start wrapping up. Unless, maybe. Did y'all watch the Drake interview? I don't know what you said.
Yes.
You did, you didn't. What did you think of the Drake interview? You should watch it, by the way.
Will I be entertained?
It's 2 hours and 20 minutes, so that's one thing. It's a lot of stuff. It's like,
Who is interviewing you?
is Rap Radar, so Elliot Wilson and B Dot, and it's in his house, the new house that he built as
In Canada?
yeah. You don't see much of it though. It's just like one little room, and it's
Section
just
of it,
one
yeah.
shot that is pretty much that you're seeing constantly. I don't know if his living room or whatever part of it is, but
It's probably the guest room.
who
It's
knows?
the guest room for the guest. If
Well-
the guest is guests.
But what did you think of the Drake interview? Like, what were some of the takeaways? So, if you recall any highlights from the Drake interview,
Now you still feel some type of way about Pusha T.
to me that was the biggest thing.
I mean, obviously.
That was the biggest thing.
Drake,
Yeah.
to
but
me,
like,
I would just say this one thing: to anybody out there saying that Drake didn't lose, I don't know what's wrong with you.
bugging.
If Drake admits that he lost,
Yeah.
and you can't admit that Drake lost to Push,
Yeah.
something wrong with you.
Man get
You living in denial. You living in Trump Town.
Yeah.
Drake admitted he got checkmate.
Yep.
But I mean, of course.
But I will say though, like,
Yo, that's hit him up level type of dissing. Anyway, that's not even going to anyway.
it really bothered him.
Yeah.
Like
Of course.
no, but like it really,
Yeah.
like still,
Yeah,
like
I mean, yeah.
like I wasn't like it was a complete change once that topic came up in
Yeah.
his demeanor
Yeah.
and like how
100%.
like his attitude and his answers.
Oh, I need to
certain
watch.
Things,
I need to
like,
watch this now, man.
Yeah.
That's why.
I want to skip directly to just that part.
But you need to watch like how it was before, so you could notice like.
I'll watch the first
change.
10 minutes and then I'll just skip to that part.
But I
Yeah,
don't know.
his demeanor changed one 100%.
It's like it really bothered him.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm not a Drake hater. I love Drake's songs. I'm a DJ. Like Drake. That's Drake is life. But I love Pusha T. I love Pusha T a lot, and I like to root for the underdog. And Pusha T was the underdog in that situation, just in terms of stardom and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So for him to come out swinging like that, yo, you have to keep in mind though, like that diss track is hit 'em up level diss track. No, that diss track is disrespectful, dog.
Disrespectful. Yeah.
Yo, that shit, like when they talk about disses, Drake just knows that shit gonna come up every time, dog.
And the one thing that I feel like was a dodge was when he was talking about the deal.
Adidon.
Yeah. Cause he was saying like, yeah,
This man.
I felt like that pretty much was just him not trying to make it look as bad. Like, I feel like he was downplaying it, and also like the other statement he made, basically implying that everything that Push says is fake. I was like, oh, okay.
You mean what Push does rap about
Yeah.
and how he don't believe it?
Basically, like, according to Drake, like Push is not a drug dealer. Push,
Yeah.
like,
From the way he bring that all across, you could tell he still feel like he is
clearly
affected.
affected by it. Like,
He is affected.
It was fascinated.
I thought it a bit
Like,
a bit hypocritical how we say like there's lines and that you don't want to cross and stuff like that. Like when when he brought up the whole thing about 40 being sick and he wasn't feeling how Push brought it up. But then in my head I was like, but hold on, I kind of remember you bringing up somebody's mental illness like right before that.
yeah.
Referencing Kid Cudi. So it's like, all right.
But that's your fave, though.
Yo, when you lose,
But that's your fave, though.
Yeah.
when you lose, you get like that. You understand?
Music wise, it's fine.
I mean, yeah. Yo, I mean, before we end this podcast, right? Because we pass the hour, but it's 2020, so and we all music guys here, and we talking about music.
Yeah.
Favorite artist of the decade?
Boy.
2010 all the way to 2019. So sorry to drop you with this bomb
I'd
right
say
now.
Kendrick.
Yeah.
Just
I can feel
because,
it.
like, it's an easy answer in a sense. Like, I wish I wanted something a little more unexpected, you know, to surprise. But
Maybe
like, I just gotta be honest.
maybe mine is unexpected.
Like,
Jay-Z. 2010 to 2019. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
when
If I
did
think about the albums that came out,
like I just gotta think on the people, the albums that I like the most of this decade. When I think of what's the best albums of this decade, the top ones is Kanye, Kendrick, and Kendrick. And it's like,
yeah, that's
I like Kendrick a lot more this decade than I like Kanye, so I gotta go with Kendrick. That's kind of Good Kid, Mad City, Section 80, To Pimp a Butterfly. Damn, we could forget about that.
okay.
Like,
So why I
still a good project.
say Jay-Z,
yeah,
right?
if he says so.
Watch the Throne 2011. Magna Carta 2013. 444 obviously 2017. That's
the thing. Like, to me, ain't none of those better than Good Kid or To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah, but
444 definitely. I definitely gotta give it to 444. That is up there. To me, I would put that over Watch the Throne and Magna Carta, in my opinion.
444, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so
And
444 to me is definitely like one of the albums of the decade.
The thing is, for me, it's just why Jay-Z, because I don't just even think about albums. I just think about like features and stuff like that. Like this man just, I don't know. After 444, this man was his body in that. Like almost every feature this man was on every track, I just enjoyed. Like Jay-Z's like I can't even call it a renaissance because like Jay-Z's been relevant from the 90s till now, hasn't lost a step, arguably.
In a way, like recently, I was thinking that I might like J. Cole more than Kendrick, though.
Really?
In the sense that
I like J. Cole more than Kendrick.
I would like. I would listen to J. Cole music more than Kendrick music. Like I would have it
I
on
appreciate
repeat.
Kendrick's music a lot, though.
Yeah.
like the
Kendrick
technique
is
and
a better artist in terms of the fact that I feel there's nobody that puts as much thought into projects, songs as Kendrick does. Like nobody in music right now, in my opinion. The closest is somebody who, in my opinion, no, wait, I forgot about Lupe, because he just dropped that Drogas Ass Wave project that was like talking about slaves that came back to life and walked on the bottom of the sea floor. Like Lupe be on some other shit, but Eve from Rhapsody. But I feel Eve is her trying to make To Be a Butterfly. That to me, that's the one reason why I don't feel Rhapsody.
I feel like that was
is
a
as-
conscious attempt to do so.
Yes.
Okay.
To me, that's the reason that Rhapsody is a great rapper, but Rhapsody to me is a copy of Kendrick. She's like, she gets to it because she's female, so you never seen that in a female really. Like Lauryn Hill, I guess the closest, but can't really count Lauryn Hill. Although I recently saw that she was going to be dropping a new song of her first solo single in like 5 years or something, supposed to be coming out in 2020.
Really?
But
yeah, but that was
I don't know
this
if it's
decade. So
yeah.
yeah,
But Rhapsody to me is like, we just never saw that before, like in a female rapper being on that type of subject matter and whatnot. The only thing you've really saw a female that's on that subject matter on the mainstream level is like Lauryn Hill before that, rapping wise then. So it's like, and she just does what Kendrick does. To me, Layla's Wisdom was her, like, that was the one that people was kind of regarding as like, yo, this shit is great, like a good kid man. And then to me, Eve, with what she doing, like paying the homage to all the different, to me, that's her trying to make a To Be a Butterfly thing. It's like, this the pro-black album, paying attention to all the, paying homage to all the prominent female black people, majority black people, I think. I don't remember if Ibtihaj, if that was a black person or not. That was the lead single off of Eve. It was some Muslim person, but I don't know. She could be black
colored.
and Muslim, but
or colored. I mean,
yeah.
Same struggles.
But how you feel about that? Like Rhapsody. Did you listen to Eve?
Yes. I love it, obviously, but here's the thing. Like when I think about like artists of the decade, I don't just look at his like body of work, but also like relevancy. So I think that's where maybe like our distinctions kind of differ.
Like Drake is to me the obvious one, like the most active. It's hard to not mention Drake as
True,
like somebody,
but I don't see him as a rapper
who
anymore.
I
That's the
like
problem.
the most. Drake is never the person I like the most. He just does a lot, and he's cool and he's not bad, but.
Like if we're talking about artists now, but if you're talking about artists, then yes, then Drake is definitely would probably be the artist of the decade, hands down, without a doubt. But if you're talking about rappers, then I won't include him as a rapper.
I feel him.
He would not. He's not even in my top 10 list of rappers.
I see your eyebrows getting big. You look like you disagree with that statement.
Yeah, I do.
Why?
I disagree with this statement of
In this decade,
Got them
not
Billboard
including him.
melodies.
In this
Rap
decade?
is something.
Hold on.
Got them Billboard melodies. Rap is something I do on the side.
Yeah.
The Drake lines quoted from the man himself.
Yeah.
He can't count this man as a rapper when he got them Billboard melodies. Rap is something I do on the side. That's not that. He letting you know rap is not the thing he prides himself on primarily, or that's his main bread and butter. It can't be on the side. If it's rap is not the entree if it's on the side.
When he making the most money from the melodies, I understand all of that. But personally, I'm gonna include him as a rapper because that's the part of him that I like the most.
in this decade,
Yeah.
I agree that I like Drake rapping more.
I like Drake rapping too, but not in.
And I
not
like
in
the
this
combination of both, right?
And to me, that's why J. Cole. Because to me, J. Cole, subject matter wise, he gives me closer to Kendrick in subject matter and what he raps about. But in terms of how it's packaged, it's more catchy. It's more digestible. It's more Drake-like in how it's presented to you. Kendrick shit, like, nobody, like, who is playing To Pimp a Butterfly and repeat? Nobody.
That's true.
I love the album, but I don't want to listen to Pimp a Butterfly and repeat. Maybe King Kunta. That might be like the
because it's a bop. You have a bop.
The Black of the Berry.
Right.
Yeah.
The Black of the Berry and King Kunta.
Yeah.
Maybe those two songs is probably it.
The Black of the Berry.
But
the album is a lot to
conceptually,
digest.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like J. Cole, to me, he's like right in the middle. He's the great balance of the both of them because he does sing like a Drake does, and he's not bad at his singing and stuff. Like he could hold a note pretty decently, and subject matter is just a little deeper than Drake, in my opinion.
No, definitely.
A little more broad than Drake. Then,
Yeah.
all right. I think we said enough.
So Drake in your top 3.
In my top 3?
Yeah.
Top 3 what? Artist of the
Rappers.
of the year of the decade.
Of the decade.
Yeah,
The past decade.
number 1 for me personally.
Rapper.
Just the one who made the most impact for me personally. I ain't talking about just out of all of them.
I feel it.
You know what I'm saying?
Like Drake has to be in the conversation whether you like him or not, just of the shared numbers and impact that he's had, how much work he's put out over the last 10 years. You have never seen a run like Drake.
So
but
where
50
would you
brought
put?
up an
Where
interesting
would
point
you?
regarding Drake and that run, because
Which I
it's
agree
like,
with.
if he's not a rapper, like nobody, you can't have that run only rapping. Nobody has ever
Very
had
true.
that run sustainably. Like Jay-Z, I guess, might be the only person, but even Jay-Z is so sporadic in the later parts of his career. It's like, I'm gonna take 4 years off and then like,
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm gonna retire. Like,
but he's built a template where he's now allowed to take those 4-year breaks and then drop a, like, cause
That's what
Jay-Z is now
what's expected of
relevant
him.
for here and ever. He's earned that right. But like that's the thing. Like if we're talking about rappers, like Jay-Z's my number 1, and then who's going to be my number 2? My number 2 is either going to be Kendrick or J. Cole as a rapper. So now it's a fight between those two in my head canon. So who am I going to put as the newcomers? I would put J. Cole over. I don't want to, but just the way I digest music, if after Jay-Z, I will go to J. Cole. If you give me the option, like music that I listen to, Jay-Z, J. Cole,
nah, actually,
Kendrick,
Absol.
Absol too.
So,
Like, I just realized I was going through his discography, and it's like Control System was 2012. Control System is probably like one of my favorite rap albums ever. Then he dropped These Days, that other one, Do What Thou Wilt. He dropped 3 albums this decade, and I'm like, 2 of those I like. So I'm like, I could give it to Absol. I like Absol more than Kendrick. Kendrick just drops more.
Yeah, but
He has more mainstream appeal because he's less weird than Absol. Like
more palatable.
To the masses and stuff like that. The stuff that Kendrick raps about is a lot more easily digestible. Even given what
It's
I was
more
just saying
millennial.
about To Pimp a Butterfly,
Yeah.
like it's still a lot more digestible than all the satanic imagery and demonic imagery that goes along with Do What Thou Wilt that Absol was on, or all the conspiracy theory stuff that he was on Control System. These days, that was the disappointing album.
But if you're talking about artist of the year, then Drake wins.
Just for sake.
Artist of the decade, I mean, Drake wins.
Yeah, just for sake.
There is no artist that has remained more relevant throughout the decade
just for
than
sakes.
Drake. But rapper, Jay-Z, for me. But we're almost a quarter past the hour. This is a regular schmegular, the link up episode length, which I did not think we would have reached today, but we did.
Yeah, because I was slacking. Didn't really have much topics to discuss like that.
Little did you know.
Interesting
You had a
things.
whole lot to say.
When the
Woods.
Takens
It's
unite.
Woods.
Woods had a lot to say today.
Woods saved this episode.
That's what happens when I stay a week or 2, almost 2 weeks without talking.
Woods saved
got
this
a lot to
episode. Shout out to Woods. All right, so
I think this is the episode I talked the most, like in its entirety.
probably.
I believe so.
Probably.
Yeah.
Like you just let off the entire thing with Trump, but we already
People
did
gonna
plugs.
hate me for this now.
So
Anyway.
we're not gonna do no plugs again.
Yes.
So yeah, make sure. Oh, just
This
to plug
man was
again.
going to drop
Just
the
going
plug,
to plug
though.
again.
I mean, do it again. Don't let them
Mistuh
forget.
King LP. Make sure to listen.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta
plugged
hold
it
that shit
early,
out,
but you
man.
might have forget. You might have forgot. That was like an hour ago.
Exactly.
But make sure to listen to the Mistuh King LP when it's out. It probably will be out on Spotify first if it's not out on everything. But Spotify probably will be out first. So make sure to go check there if it's not out on Tidal or whatever else you might use yet. But have patience. It's going to be on Spotify for sure.
Yes, be on the lookout.
Yes. So anything else that needs to be said before we leave?
Nah,
Fuck
dude,
Trump.
that's it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's a good note to end on, fuck Trump. Like Nipsey and YG said. Wait, Nipsey was on that song, right? With
Yeah,
YG?
I believe so.
I think so.
I
Yeah.
believe
It was
so.
YG featuring somebody. It was
Yeah.
Nipsey, right?
Yeah.
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 Fuck Trump. I like that song from Game album. He got a song with Nipsey on it.
Yeah.
Like, if you haven't heard Born to Rap, go check it out. Go check out the song with Nipsey. I feel like Game has the best posthumous Nipsey feature. But anyway, we'll see you people the next time we link up.
Yes.
Peace.